How's it going, everybody? Stoner Griff Martin here. Welcome back to another Nostalgia Critic reaction. Going to be reacting to his newest video on his review of the Fat Albert movie. Now, the Fat Albert movie is a movie I have just barely remember in the back of my head. The best I remember is one scene with the animated character. When he goes into live action, he takes off like his hat, and then when he goes back into animated, it looks very strange. And honestly, that's all I remember from it. Just that one moment. So I'll need to re-see what this movie is about, and potentially forgetting about it could be for better or worse, depending on what happens in this video, I guess. Anyways, let's just find out in 3, 2, 1. Bum, bum, bum. Alright, and actually, again, I don't remember much about this movie, just that one moment.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to.
Yep, how's it going,
It's
Doug?
an unpopular opinion or not, but Kenan Thompson is my favorite SNL cast member.
Oh, really?
That's not to say there aren't other cast members I think are more talented or lend themselves to other avenues. But a lot of those avenues also lead to a lot of duds. That's just part of the business. Kenan seems particularly familiar with where he is, though, and says he has no plans of leaving anytime soon. But you know what? If you're good at something, why stop doing it?
The new iPhone
That is a good point.
for your protection.
I don't think so. That's how they get you.
Yes. Yes.
He has an amazing talent, for me anyway, of making almost anything sound funny.
So you left her, and then you marry her.
Oh, I didn't know he was on Family Feud.
The heart wants what it wants, Steve. That ain't the heart, player.
There's that old cliche of being so funny you can make the phone book sound humorous, and this is the only SNL member I think could actually do that. Well, him and Christopher Walken. Yeah, I guess I find people have a distinct way of talking pretty funny.
I'm your host, Reese. The what? We out of time. Hey, come on now. That costs money.
He doesn't even do that many characters. He
What
just
the
has a
heck?
way of delivering
What's he
lines,
doing here?
knowing the exact syllable to emphasize, slow down, or speed up in order to get a laugh. And it's rare to be tapped into that this consistently.
Baseball. Do you like basketball and football, but they too fun and fast? Try baseball.
Baseball.
That's not to say there haven't been attempts to do other things with his talents.
Right.
He has been in other shows and movies and even had an attempt at sitcom, but most of them, for whatever reason, didn't have the same magic as SNL.
Really?
And one of
That's a
the
shame.
people have wanted me to look over for years, for better or worse, is Fat Albert.
Hey, he thought of what I thought of. What do you know?
Based on the 70s cartoon, the 2004 movie didn't exactly get the warmest of responses.
Oh, jeez.
And audiences
I
seem to dislike
figures.
it, but to its credit, a lot of folks do remember it. There's been a lot of cartoon adaptations over the years that people forget even happened. But so many folks have asked me to review this movie that you have to at least acknowledge.
He's pretty athletic for a fat dude. Just saying.
Same way I guess
That's a
giant
compliment,
ass leaves
not an
impression on the
insult.
couch. But is there a kitsch charm to that impression, or is it mostly just ass? Well, let's take a closer look. 20 years after its release, and only 3 years.
My gosh, the hats on them are really funny. Like, when I say that, I don't mean like it's just like how they're designed, because like they look like they're all made of yarn or like felt. It's pretty funny. Okay.
After his release, let's take a look at Fat Albert. Alright, so first off, I'll give a heads up. I've seen a little bit of the cartoon growing up, but I'm not an expert on it. I know most of the characters' names, but I do know enough to know that the Animaniacs parody of it is pretty funny.
We prefer to
Oh,
preach
they made it-
no social values till they spew out everyone's ears and all over the ground.
So I'm not going to be able to compare it too much to the show.
I didn't know Animaniacs made a parody of
We're
it.
looking at over 5 drawings done for the animation, so this already feels a little off. Don't worry though, it doesn't last long. They make it look like the whole opening credits is going to be this animation, but it's only 30 seconds.
Oh.
To be honest, it looks like they put the budget of an entire season into that 30 seconds.
You're going to
You know, the animation kind of reminds me of the Proud Family, weirdly enough. Like with the style and everything.
that party with me. I don't think so.
We cut to the real world where we're introduced to a girl named Doris, played by Kyla Pratt, who doesn't seem to fit in.
You go with me, right, Doris?
I wasn't invited.
Oh, I see. Her and Fat Albert are gonna switch places, and we're gonna see what her life is like as a cartoon. I'm not too far off. She spends time with very few.
Yeah, that's what the text of what I was saying.
friends and just watches.
Who wants to play?
Oh, no. No, no,
Uh-oh.
Seriously, I'm expecting Princess Tiana to walk by. This is way too well animated. Right
Really?
now, the animators of the original show are looking at this like, whoa, you got more than bison dollars for your budget? Doris's tear falls on the remote. Because in family films, the more sad the tear, the more satanic the results. And suddenly,
Pretty
the
much.
characters can hear her.
Hey, what is that thing?
Oh, that's a weird effect.
And whatever she said to the cinematographer, man, did he get his revenge. Fat Albert sees she's sad, and so he goes into the real world to help her, with the others following in step.
Oh my. Look at us.
Wow, we look like a bad SNL sketch. So you mean a current SNL
That was
sketch?
good.
Yeah, right down to Kenan Thompson being the only one trying to save it. And okay, you wanna know why I'm weirdly so against the animation being so good in this? Because it makes jokes like this not work.
Ah! Don't you guys make noise when you enter a room?
I never thought about it. We just enter.
Not on that show. You got like Space Jam backgrounds on that show. You're
Yeah,
like
it's
the
kinda
animation in
strange.
That Walmart Grinch commercial. You look
Oh.
great, but you just don't belong in something this bad.
You know, honestly, a lot of people had problems with this Grinch commercial, and I agree. I watched Saber Spark's short review of it, and honestly, I just want to talk about this real quick, is that I do agree that this short is kind of insulting to the Grinch. Because again, like, they're trying to use this story, and the Grinch is happy because they're selling Walmart products. I'm not kidding. He's supposed to be happy because Christmas doesn't need items, not because of fucking Walmart. The only thing that's fairly good about this little animation here is just its style. So, I mean, I know that's the whole point Doug is pointing out, but I just gotta say, ugh, I have a new hatred for this.
Where's our show?
It's over.
The show ends, and they find they can't go back into the TV until another episode runs the following day.
Pardon me, miss.
Really?
My name is Doris.
I know a dog named Doris.
What?
Wow, you really thought there was going to be thunderous laughter there, didn't you? I think the only thing you would hear from the theater is...
I know a dog named Doris.
That sucked. They decide
Pretty
to stay
much.
with
That's
Doris
pretty
and
much how it
follow
would
her
go.
Wherever she goes.
What are you talking into?
You guys yanking my chain?
I didn't even know you had a chain. Me too.
But Keenan, I never thought I'd say this, but you had better writing with Good Burger.
Oh, damn.
I have some
Really?
visitors, and I didn't think you mind if they audited the class.
Come on, find a seat.
I don't think any school works like this, but I'll allow it for shenanigans.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's my hat.
Oh, look at how old those computers are. Like the ones that were on the desk. They look so old.
I have no face.
I love that that guy straight up has just a brass knuckle on his shirt.
Okay, 15 minutes in, and we finally got a laugh. Man, it's like searching for Waldo. I finally found
Hold on. Sorry, I didn't pay attention to the joke. What was the joke?
Come on.
for shenanigans.
What's that on your head?
It's my hat.
Why don't you take it off?
I have no face.
Okay, 15 minutes in, and we finally got a laugh. Man, it's like searching for Waldo. I finally found one.
I don't know. I didn't really find it that funny.
We're here because Doris has a problem. Yes, she doesn't have any friends, so we came here to tell
Oh,
her
boy.
to be a friend.
So it's hard to say Keenan is bad as Fat Albert, but it's hard to say he's good as him either. I can't imagine doing an entire performance with that voice, and honestly, it sounds like he blew it out practicing it before they even started rolling.
Isn't it the person who matters and not how they look? You know, she blew in my eye. Hey, Danielle, you can't quit school and run away.
It'd be like if Andy Serkis didn't take care of his voice while doing Gollum, and it sounded like...
All right, kids, power up.
What is this?
Ah, okay. Here starts the bad computer Oh, we're done?
Look, I don't have friends because.
Yeah, well, thank goodness for that.
I don't know what to think of that. On the one hand, the jokes haven't been funny, so I doubt they'd be funny here, but it does seem a bit odd giving up before the routine even starts. At least show how much runtime you saved us, so we can give a discreet yet audible golf clap.
Yeah, that's a fair enough point.
Attraction to Doris's foster sister, Lori. And if you're thinking, man, isn't he a little old to be dating someone that young? Fear not, none of these people are in high school.
Wait, don't rub it.
She blew in his eye.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I know you don't know.
Guys.
Not sense. Nah, it's not worth a comparison, it's just dumb.
Yeah,
If they can abandon routines, why can't I?
that's a good
I'm
point.
letting that fat kid get over on Laura.
Lori's maybe boyfriend Reggie, played by Omar Ryan, feels threatened, so he challenges Albert to a race.
A race, you say.
Filmation cartoon? Yeah, okay, it kind of tracks.
go!
And now my impression of the green screening from Ghost Rider.
Oh,
Honestly, this
Lord.
effect is so
Not
ridiculous,
that.
It does make me laugh a little bit. And he ends up winning and naturally tries to teach a lesson afterwards.
Even though you came in second place, it doesn't mean you're not a winner, too.
Fat man. Fat.
What?
I do wish this is one of those PG movies where they could get away with saying the F word once.
Fat man. Fat.
Then there's this.
See, that would have made it better.
Hey, I'm having a stroke. A lot of people say this whole movie
gosh.
is just a big commercial for Fat Albert, but I disagree. Because the film literally plans out a section to literally be a commercial for Fat Albert.
Wow.
See? That's who we are.
Corporate shills. Seriously, the whole cast has a look like. Oh man, we don't want to be that scene where Cat in the Hat promotes Universal Studios, but we're totally that scene where Cat in the Hat
Yeah.
promotes Universal Studios.
Those the most popular girls in school.
It also says that in the Cosby Kids. So, unfortunately, that did not age very well, did it?
We gotta get him to be friends with Doris.
They try not to get distracted from their original goal of getting Doris some friends. They manage to get her invited to a party, but Doris says she needs some new clothes first.
We have to go to the mall.
What's the mall?
Ah, these kids from the past are asking questions kids in the present would ask.
Honestly,
What did you just say?
that unfortunately is a very good point.
You watch your mouth.
Let's go next door. I heard Beethoven discovered synthesizers.
If you're looking to buy, I'm your guy. And for talking to me, you get a hat for free.
Wow, we finally found the guy Carlton would beat up. They do a clothing montage because they think we've never seen a movie before, and then jump rope in a mall. I don't know, it's Fat Albert. I can't pretend I come up with something more interesting either.
You guys see the picture me and Mushmouth took? I think we lost some color.
Pictures aren't real.
Neither are we. We aren't real, and I think we're fading.
Uh-oh.
Can we go from jump rope to existential crisis in a minute? Hey, God is dead.
I mean, to be fair, that's a good point to make, I guess, at some point in the movie, I think. What the hell am I saying? Point is, I think it's good to talk about that.
Dead.
Doris, you look great. People are gonna notice.
Doris gets dressed up and they head to the party.
Can I get you a soda or something?
You're so sweet. But you just got me a soda.
And from the positioning of that light, you might have something else for her, too.
Oh, come on.
What's out, man? Nice hat.
Now, we both look like we should be in a stoner van solving mysteries.
Come on.
Honestly, that hat looks like the Pokemon trainer hat from Sinnoh region. That's what I think of when I see it.
Here and say a few words to the crowd. Fat Albert.
Richie tries to humiliate Albert, but of course,
It doesn't work.
over the crowd with, you guessed it, a rap version of his theme song.
They call me Fat Albert. That's my name. Solving problems is my game.
I'm not sure it's a good sign when dancing turtles, CG dogs, and Waynes and drag would fit too well in this scenario.
Yeah. Were they one of the first to do this trope, or were they kind of caught in the middle? Because that could give a fair enough amount of leeway, I think. But I don't know. No, it doesn't. They're bad for this trope.
Okay, how did they do that joke 10 times better than a movie that literally had Porky Pig in it? But Richie's revenge isn't done yet.
Hey, sweet thing. Wanna dance?
Why, yes, I would. Oh, the girl, yeah. Maybe that Fred with the ascot is available.
Reggie, no. Please, Reggie.
Richie tries to move too fast on her, though, and he turns on her, causing the gang to step in.
Stay away from her. Or you're gonna have to deal with me.
That's it. Slender Man and that are the two things I never want to turn around to.
Yeah.
Well, Albert better
Why was
turn
he
to
scratching his head?
It's his sister, naturally.
But you should be walking on this side of the street. The gentleman should walk on the side with the traffic. That way, if a car like splashes mud, he can push the woman out of the way.
Doesn't feel like writing as much as sentences. We're just listening to sentences.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't work, or they just forget to even put jokes in. It's so bizarre.
I had no business going to that party. I should have never listened to Albert in the
What is
past.
with you? Ever since your grandpa passed away, you're not the same.
Could the cause be your grandpa passing away?
Oh.
Why don't we invite him to the track meet on Saturday?
The fewer people who see me run, the better.
You've got to start believing in yourself. You used to be one of the fastest runners on the team.
Just pretend they're offering a sequel to this movie and you'll get your running legs right back. The next day, Doris wants to keep her distance from the gang as she was uncomfortable at the party.
You look a little pale. A little washed out.
How can you tell? Your colors are like Care Bears in the Barbie movie. Even faded, you're still pretty blinding.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hang in the park before they meet up with Doris to get back into the show.
Ba-ba-ba-loomba. Ba-loomba. Ba-ba-loomba. Ba-loomba.
I do like the scene where a kid teaches Mushmouth how to say balloon and then suddenly he's the most articulate person alive.
Madam, it has been my extreme pleasure talking with your daughter. She taught me how to say balloon.
Well, I'm very happy for you.
I'm gonna see if you're on a list, cause you're on a list.
Okay, that actually was a pretty good moment. I think that's a good one.
Actually, everyone starts to act different as their flaws suddenly start to become fixed in the real world.
I bet I feel even smarter without this dumb-looking hat.
Oh, you got a nice face.
Okay, so on the one hand, I do like that this actor is allowed to show his face, but on the other hand, there need to be something funnier than that. Seriously, we needed like a... slowly fading, and they tried to figure out what to do.
Okay,
We're
that
not
was.
just losing our color. Look at my hand. I can see through it. It's fading away.
It's like if Jordan Peele directed Back to the Future.
Oh.
They make their way back to Doris's place where they find the bullies on the show are trying to take over. And as much as that face reveal wasn't funny in the real world, they do make up for it in the
Yeah, this is
animated
the part I was thinking of.
Your face, man. What happened to his face?
world. You're clearly in the wrong Sheep animated series.
Oh,
Going
Pac-Man.
to the cartoon though, just as Albert decides he doesn't want to go because he wants to be with Lori and also still wants to help Doris. Well, that's a cock-teased speedy ending. How much more film is there? Don't for shit's sake! I
Oh.
feel like Happy Gilmore. Just go home! Just go home! Are you too good for your home?
We've got to ride to the fair in style.
They decide to go to a fair and make a car out of garbage because
What?
junkyard exists in both realities, I guess. I don't know. But to the credit,
Nope.
I do like a lot of the creativity around this thing. I love not only the look of it, but how the two guys inside seem to operate all of it.
Thanks for winning this with me.
Hey, anytime, any day.
They make their way to the fair where Rudy finally starts to put the moves on Doris.
Would you go out with me?
You mean like on a date?
Yeah,
But we are on a date.
that's right.
Is it me or like half the lines just saying what's happening in the movie? Did we leave the audio descriptions on?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fat Albert.
I kind of love after all this time, only one kid recognizes him as Fat Albert. Almost like even the movie is saying, yeah, nobody remembers who this is.
Fat kids keep chasing Russell. He needs you.
Kind of a meta joke as of now, considering I said I barely remembered it.
He says horrible things are happening on the show as the bullies are trying to take over. So Albert goes to the one person you immediately think of when you hear the words horrible things.
Wait till you get to the top of the stairs, then they knock.
Prepare for bad taste jokes. Preparing for
bad
bad
taste
taste jokes. Bad taste jokes. Bad taste jokes.
Uh-oh.
Who is it?
How
Is
many
that
times
re-
have I told you I'm not appearing on Chris Hansen?
I'm Fat Albert.
Hey, taste of your own medicine. How far should I go with this?
Good God.
How did you get into this predicament?
If there's anyone who should be asked that question,
Oh.
Crying. Who's it hurt? Doris Robertson.
for the love
It's just too easy, guys. It's just too easy.
of God, don't tell him any more about her.
Yeah.
Doris Robertson. You know where they live?
Stop movie! The rating for this is gonna shoot right up! And so is something else that happened!
Come, Pinky. Let us return to the story.
Alright. So it's revealed that Albert is actually based on Doris's grandfather who passed away.
Oh.
Okay, it's a touch inventive. There's an idea in there. He's told them
Interesting.
to go back into the show.
Your fans are waiting to see you on TV.
Yeah, all one of them.
I want to stay here in the real world.
You can't stay out here.
Something Cosby is told on a daily basis. I'm sorry. I don't know why the worst of him brings out the best of me. Albert tries telling Lori that he's a cartoon and needs to return to his show. Weirdly, though, she doesn't believe him.
It's almost funny. Every time someone says they care about me, they wind up leaving me.
You're just like that FUD guy who said he wanted to return to animals in drag.
Ugh.
Doris tries to tell her
Don't
what he said
remind
is
me.
true, but she doesn't believe her either, and she just goes to sleep. Do track tomorrow. That's far more important. I'm sorry. How is this film still going? There's been like 3 times it could wrap up, and somehow they turned into more of an excuse to punish us. Case in point, everyone does decide to finally go back into the show, but Albert, again, decides he can't go.
It's time for Doris to believe in herself again.
And it's time for you to believe that 80 minutes is a perfectly acceptable running time.
Yeah.
Runs in track, and Albert, of course, encourages her to believe in herself, and of course, she wins.
Huh.
No, we did it. Oh, come on, we gotta go.
Does
Weirdly
he?
not out of breath in the
Does
slightest.
Albert?
So we meet again.
So does Albert actually like disappear? Does he actually like disappear into nothing?
She tries to get him back into the show, but Reggie attempts to stop him.
Oh,
Get out of our way.
okay.
Dang.
See that wrapped up quick? Why couldn't all the conflicts be like that? They use a skateboard to
Yeah.
get him back, because I'm totally convinced this was written in 1990, and they make it back in time.
Okay.
Harry, the show's almost over. We need you.
How could this be?
Magic tear, duh! He's
Exactly.
glad Laurie and Doris finally puts together who he reminds her of.
You remind me of my grandpa.
Hey. That's a nice thing to say. I love you, Doris.
Love you too.
Feel like we could have explored a lot more of that, but,
Yeah.
you know, malls, jump rope, whatever the hell this was. This was mostly a waste
Don't know.
of
They
time.
needed funny stuff, I guess.
Same repeated animation as before, which is the one thing I'm positive the original Fat Albert would do. And in a kind of cool scene, we see the people who inspired the characters while they're at the grave of the original man who inspired Fat Albert. It'd be really touching if I wasn't thinking of someone else who was really touching.
Come on, Doug.
Oh, Albert, I hope I made you... It's probably good that you're dead. And that was Fat Albert. It's bad, and it's exactly the kind of bad you think it is. Granted, I've seen far, far worse, and I will say the cast, particularly Albert's gang, are giving it their all.
Yeah.
I never feel like they're sleepwalking through any of it. They're really trying to capture the essence, charm, and energy of these characters.
But it just
the
doesn't
writing
work.
just isn't there to support it. It feels long despite it not being a particularly long running time. The jokes meander, and there's a ton of moments that can be cut out. I don't think I'm gonna miss much if you took out Rudy dating Doris, or Reggie getting revenge, or any of those moments where it looked like the film was gonna wrap up. I can't say it's super irritating, but for all the work these actors are clearly putting into it, they deserve something more than this.
Okay, I see.
I'm a nostalgia critic, I remember it, so you don't have to.
Right, bye, Doug. See you next time.
Doris Robertson. You know where they live?
This month for Cam.
I almost feel bad for making all those jokes. Almost. Okay, everybody. Well, I guess it was best that we did forget about this kind of movie. I mean, I'm glad I remembered one of the funnier scenes from it, but yeah, honestly, I guess there really just wasn't much to remember from it. It is kind of a shame that they were giving it their all and it just didn't work out. I don't know. I mean, considering the future, I don't know if they found anything else that in that time to improve on, but hope they did. Again, none of that come to mind right now. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Be sure to like and subscribe and whatnot. And that being said, I'll see you in the next reaction. Bye!